inspiration comes simply through putting one foot ahead of another. In the last 14 months or so, I've been able to really dig myself out of a hole financially, career-wise. I was living in a little tiny home here in Western North Carolina in someone's backyard, a retired woman's backyard. It was like 200 square feet. I was paying $1,000 a month. I drank out of a hose. I didn't have hot water. I had to boil water. I didn't have a bathroom. I peed outside. I had to go up into her house and kind of sneak in and use the bathroom when I needed to. Didn't have a kitchen, didn't have anything. And even then, I could barely afford to pay rent. I could barely get by. I didn't know how I was going to pay my car payments. I didn't have anything and felt like a complete and abject failure. I was 35 at the time, and I had nothing to show for it. I had no savings. I had been coaching for years at that point, but just never really been able to break through, making $40,000 or $50,000 a year, and just foolish with my money, foolish in all types of ways. I was just in a really bad place. Started a business with some friends, and we actually had a lot of success, but we were splitting profits 4 ways and didn't leave a lot to take home. And I was a bit of a dick during the whole thing because I just realized, I can't live into other people's pendulums. I can't live in other people's timelines and other people's business ideas. I got to do my thing my own way. But when I did do it my own way, there wasn't much to show for it. And I remember getting fired on New Year's Eve of 2024 from my business unexpectedly, just ghosted. And I woke up the next day with nothing, no money coming in. I had to borrow $1,000 from my dad just to get by. And I was certainly not inspired. I was not waking up inspired. I was waking up trying to survive. I was waking up kind of fighting for my life, more or less. And there's so much more to that story I could share, but everything that could have gone wrong in my life had gone wrong in the last 3 years. I was certainly not inspired, because it's very hard to be inspired into action when you're fucking just trying to eat and pay the bills and wondering where your next dollar is going to come from and borrowing from Peter to pay Paul and all that kind of shit. That was my life. I remember looking at my bank account and just hated that I even looked at it. You know what I mean? Just wanted to avoid it. And I didn't wait for inspiration because I didn't have a chance at that moment in my life to wait for inspiration. Instead, I got into action. I just did stuff, right? And so I woke up on January 1st and I was like, fuck, okay. What can I do? What can I do to make money? I know I'm not going to get a job, right? I'm pretty set on that, though I started looking. I was even looking at that time. This is how desperate I was. I was like, maybe I'll join the Air Force. I'm Canadian, so I only have a green card here, but I was like, maybe I'll join the Air Force and be a special operations guy and jump out of planes and do cool shit. And seriously started talking to recruiters and stuff like that. And then I realized I don't have the security clearance as a Canadian to do anything cool in the Air Force or any military for that matter at 36. And so I could have been a pencil pusher in the military, but crazy me, me of all people, so fucking strung out that I thought I was going to go be a government cuck. No offense to military people or anything like that, but fuck that. I'd be in Iran right now, bombing children. Anywho, that's how desperate I was, right? As we do, we get into these places where we're like, fuck, I need security, I need safety, I need to find something that's stable. And since that wasn't an option, I was like, well, what if I just started doing a bunch of stuff? Not from an inspired place, but from a place of just fuck, I need to do something. I wasn't I want to help people learn how to write, which is one of the first workshops that I ran. And I think 17, 18 people showed up to what I called raw writing wizardry at that time. So teaching people how I was making content, because one thing that I was good at and was building traction in was content, and it just came very naturally to me. And the more that my life got decrepit and shitty and terrible and all these bad things happened to me, the better my content got, because I was writing from this really raw, ripped open fucking place. And so I was like, well, what if I just take some action doing what I already know I'm good at, that's easy for me, which is teaching people how to use or how to create content and how to think of ideation, because I got a really good brain in terms of like I think of things on a deeper layer than most people do. That's just one of the gifts that I came into this world with. I can scan the whole situation and ask the deeper questions, and when you can do that, it really evokes thinking in people, right? And so I taught people that process, and that became a little bit of money in the bank account. I think in January I made like $5,000 of 2025, or so January 2025. I was like, okay, well, that's enough. I can get by now. I can pay my bills and have a tiny bit of money in the bank and pay back some people that I owe money and all this kind of stuff. And so I did that. And then I turned that into a 30-day writing challenge. So I had people write every single day for 30 days. And I ran four workshops and charged a few $100s for it and made a bit more money. And then from that, a one-on-one client signed on, and that made me another $7,000 or so over the course of the next 6 months. And then I ran like this little sprint, 4 weeks for 5 people for $500, and there was another $2,500. And then I ran Feral Creator 1, which is my first iteration of a cohort-based accelerator for creators, but teaching them how to create authentic content and then monetize it. I was just teaching what I was learning. I wasn't like inspired by it. I was just like, well, I just accomplished this thing and learned it. Maybe I can turn around and teach it. But what happened as I continued to do that, and that first cohort ended up making me $34,000. Then I launched another one. It made me $51,000. Then I just launched another one. It made me $58,000. All in the course of like less than 12 months. That was in the last 10 months alone. This one offer made me, it's made me whatever, $130-something thousand, and maybe $140,000. But the point of this isn't to talk about all the money I made and how quickly things changed, even though it is amazing. People are always curious about that. The point is I got more and more inspired the more action that I took. The path became more clear the more action that I took. And it wasn't that I loved everything that I was taking action on. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is the most inspiring thing in the fucking world. I want to do this so badly. Like, I can't wait. I'm thinking about this all day and night. No, it was just like, I'm going to take action. I'm going to fuck around and find out. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to run some experiments, right? And then as I took more action, of course I got inspired. I got inspired when people showed up. I got inspired when I got in front of people and I got to help them. I got inspired when people got results. I got inspired when the fucking money landed in my bank account. Just day by day, one step ahead of the other. It was an iterative process. And then I was like, oh, I just did this thing. What if I did this thing? That sounds cool. And then the inspiration and creativity started flowing through. But too many of these motherfuckers want to do the same, or like all of you, like a lot of you are like this. Like you want to wait. Like you're doing all these processes and you're fucking meditating and you're laying in the forest and you're doing all this shit to like connect and let the inspiration come through. And then you're doing dick all when it comes to actually creating something. Look, I'm fucking sitting near the river. I love being outside. I love meditating. I love taking psychedelics. I love doing processes, though I don't do them much anymore. But none of that replaces action. And action is the true avenue to inspiration. And the more action I take, the more inspired I get. Right? Because there's something about there's something about momentum, about seeing the fruits of our labor, seeing results that is like so much more powerful than fucking waiting for momentum. It's so much more powerful than waiting for inspiration. It's so much more powerful than reading about how to be inspired or doing a practice about how to be inspired or waiting for the muse to inspire you. Don't wait. Your goals, like, they require you moving towards them. You don't know how they're going to get completed. For me, it's always about holding the vision. Like, I'm inspired. I want the Feral Farm. I'm gonna own a piece of land. It's going to happen. I'm 36 today. By the time I'm 40, I'm going to own this beautiful, epic piece of land. How I'm going to get there, I have no fucking clue. The inspiration is out there, all right? But as I take more and more action towards that goal, I become more and more inspired, and the path unveils itself. But to think that, like, I could sit around and wait for inspiration, are you fucking crazy? And that's what I used to do. So I get it, but it's retarded. It's the dumbest thing you could ever do. No. Action inspires, right? Inspire, to breathe in, right? We're inspired, we're inspirited, we're filled with spirit through action. Life rewards momentum. The universe rewards momentum. It wants us to meet it halfway. We don't fucking sit there idly and allow it to inspire us, to breathe life through us, to breathe spirit through us. That's not how it works. We walk towards spirit. We walk in partnership with spirit. And our angels, our guardians, are fucking the light of life Our purpose unveils itself and guides us every step of the way. Do not wait any longer. Just take one small action. It's one foot in front of the other. You actually don't need to know the path. You don't need to know the chasm between A and B. All you need to know is just to have a committed B. A committed B. Go out there in the world. Take one small action today, and you will find the inspiration that you've been waiting for. I guarantee it. Stop waiting around.